Yes, as usual, there's a question I want to have more emphasis getting laid on here, and the question demands that we get the equation of a circle in the form x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c equaling to 0 if the points with coordinates, for example xy, xy, as ends of a diameter of a circle with a center A are given. Now, for example, let me use question 3. The points with coordinates 5, 5 and negative 3, negative 1 are the ends of a diameter of a circle center A. Determine the coordinates of A. The equation of the circle, expressing it in form x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c is equals to 0, where they are telling us that A, B, and C are the constants. So, if you are keen enough and you have been following my videos, I had already done part A, that is actually getting the coordinates of A, which is actually the coordinates of the center of that circle. So if that circle gets drawn here, like this, I can have that. I can draw the diameter, don't mind about the shape of the circle. Then we can have this one as C, this one as B, we can have this as M. We've been given the coordinates of the ends of the diameter as 5, 5. That's what you've been given in that case. We have 5, 5. That's question 3, 5, 5. Then we have negative 3, negative 1. Okay. So these are the ends. And I had gotten in my last video the midpoint of this diameter, or the center of this diameter, as having coordinates 1, 2. So they want us to get the equation of the circle. So how do you get the equation of the circle if the two ends of a diameter are given, even without the center of that circle getting given in terms of its coordinates? You are supposed to use the following approach. Always first note that this is the radius, this is the radius. This is actually the coordinates of the center of the circle, or as well the midpoints of this line, which is actually a diameter moving from this circumference to this other end of the same circle. So I'm going to have this. I first have to note that, introduce to you that the equation of a circle is always in the form x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equals to r squared. Look at that. X minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equals to r. The general equation for any equation of a circle. Now, you might have found us writing here 1, 2 as xy. But now, to make your work easy and for easy understanding, always be taking this as a, be taking this as b. That's great. A and b are the coordinates of the center of the circle. So you come back here and replace. Of course, you don't have the x, you just write x like that. So you say x minus, what is a? Our a is 1. The x value in as far as the center of the circle is concerned. So 1, then you say squared. Then you say plus. You come here, you have y minus b. B is 2. So we're going to write 2. Close the bracket, then squared is equals to r squared. R squared. R squared. Now, there are two different ways in which you can be able to get the radius. Number one, just have a look at this. I can come here and say, I have this. Look at this. I've just taken this part and this part, of course, this one. So I'm going to write here C, then I'll write here A. That's the radius of that circle, CA. Or I can even take AB, no problem. All can give me the same answer. So the C has coordinates 5, 5. Then the A has coordinates 1, 2. Now, how do you get the radius of this circle? You have to get something called magnitude. 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 This one actually applies some concepts from a topic called vector. So how do I get the magnitude of this line? which is now going to be the radius of our circle, we are going to actually say x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Look at that. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. I can say, let this be x1, let this be y1. Look at that. x1, then y1. Then I can have x2 as this, then y2. So I can just replace. Let me just take it here. So I'm going to have x2, and my x2 is 1. x2 is 1. There's a comma here, separate the 1 and the 2. So I have x2 as 1 minus, there's a square root here. So x2 as 1, x2 as 1 minus x1. x1 is 5. Okay. Then I square this. Then I say plus y2. y2 is here, which is 2. So I'm going to say 2. Then minus y1. y1 is here, which is 5. So 5 squared. So what am I going to have? I'm going to have the square root of, good, negative 4 squared plus negative 3 squared. Great. And I'm going to have this. I'm going to have 16 plus 9. Great. So the square root of 25. 16 plus 9 is 25. Good. So that means my r is equals to 5. Okay. So I'll take this to this point here, because this one has actually been able to get found now. Look at that. So radius here is my radius. As per my working, you get the magnitude of that line. So I'll come here and say 5 squared. If you are so bothered about this first method, don't even waste a lot of time. Just come here and say, take this here. You can just say x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to, don't waste time. Just say the coordinates of the center of the circle are 1, 2, 1, 2. So just say 1 squared plus 2 squared. Look at that. Just get the squares of the coordinates of the center of the circle. Yeah. Sounds easier. So I'm going to have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equals to 1 plus 4. So we're going to have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equals to 5. And now, look at this, the same answer. So you can either decide to actually draw that line, have C and A, that is the radius of the circle, half the diameter, then have the labeling of the coordinates getting done, 5, 5, 1, 2, you have x1, y1, x2, y2. Get the magnitude, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Come back here, just do a replacement. 1 is actually x2, 5 is x1. Subtract then square plus y2 is actually 2, y1 is 5. Subtract square, negative 4 squared, that is 1 minus 5, then negative 3 squared, 2 minus 5. That gives you, when you square a negative number, it gives you positive, so negative 4 squared is 16. Then negative 3 squared is 9. When you add these two, it gives you 25. The square root of 25 is 5. So you can get the radius as 5. Come and replace, because you have to replace this r. You have to get the r and replace. So r is 5. Then do a replacement. If that becomes harder, I've told you there's an easier way of doing it. Just take the coordinates of the center of the circle, 1, 2. Square them, then add. That gives you the radius. So you just say 1 squared plus 2 squared. 1 squared plus 2 squared, that is actually 1 plus 4. It gives you now 5. And then that 5 must be squared, of course. Good. So I'm going to have x minus 1 squared. I'm heading to getting now the equation of the circle, plus y minus 2 squared is equals to 25. Good. So I'm going to open the brackets. The easier way of actually opening such an equation, instead of saying x minus 1, that actually wastes a lot of time. Just come here, square the first one. So it's x squared. You get x squared. Okay. Then you say 2 times 1 times x. 2 times 1 is 2. Times x is 2x. And because there's a negative sign here, you have to put minus. Then you say 2x. Okay. Then you square the last one. 1 squared. That is actually 1. And of course, a negative number getting squared is a positive number. So it's actually negative 1 squared, which actually gives you 1. Great. Plus, come here. Square the first one. Y squared. That gives you y squared. Then come here and then say 2 times 2 times y. 2 times negative 2 times y. 2 times negative 2 times y. It's like saying 2 times negative 1 times x. 2 times negative 1 times x. 2 times negative 1, negative 2. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Okay. Then negative 1 squared, that is 1, positive. Come here. Y squared, it is here. Then 2 times negative 2 times y. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 times y gives you negative 4y. Great. Then you can say now 2 squared, or negative 2 squared. That gives you positive 4 is equals to 25. Now I can collect like terms. I can say x squared minus 2x. Then plus, I can take this here, y squared minus 4y. Then plus 1, this comes here. You see, plus 4 is equals to 25. So it is actually x squared minus 2x plus y squared minus 4y plus 5. 1 plus 4. That gives us 25. Okay. So x squared minus 2x plus y squared minus 4y is equals to, this gets taken to this other end. So I'm going to have 25 minus 5. Okay, so x squared minus 2x plus y squared minus 4y is equals to 20. I'll take this on this other side. Remember the question was saying in the form, look at this, in the form x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c, the constant, is equals to 0. So I have to rearrange this. I'll come here, so I'll start x squared, great, plus y squared, okay, minus 2x, good, minus 4y, then minus 20 is equals to 0. Why am I saying minus 20? This is positive 20. When it comes this other side, you see, it becomes negative. Then of course I've just rearranged x squared, then plus, so x squared plus y squared, x squared plus y squared, then minus 2x, then minus 4y, then minus 20, because we're actually coming to this other side of the equal sign. Minus 20 is equals to z. So that one becomes my final answer. That one becomes the equation of the circle. Always be reading the question for the second time to understand what the question wants. Thank you so much for your time. Let's meet in our next video. Thank you.